Hello. I haven't been giving a Dharma talk for so long. So it's good to get back in good shape with Dharma talks. It's a new person. I am a new person that the old person that gave Dharma talks anyway. A lot had happened since I gave Dharma talks. Let me see who's here. Oh, nice. Everybody over there. So yeah, maybe I have to explain that a little bit because otherwise I feel like when I talk, everything is so clear. Everybody understands everything I say, and it could be so confusing. What do I mean by I'm not the same person that I was before? I mean, I joined a very patriarchal Zen career, and I did totally, wholeheartedly, gave away myself completely. But then you try to teach, and it seems like things don't kind of don't fit you. The way of teaching that was transmitted to me is a wonderful and sacred teaching, but the way for me to transmit that teaching cannot be the same as the way it was transmitted to me, because I am a woman. Because I am a woman. And as a woman, I experience and feel things differently. So, yeah, I like to, for example, explore the why of everything, the meaning of everything. It's difficult for me to take things, just take it as it is and don't question it. And at the beginning, I didn't question, of course. It was very easy to transcend my personality. It was such a blessing to transcend anything that was personal. It was so easy. It was such a blessing. But then we come to the world, and the personality comes with you, and it has gone through a process of transformation in doing the Zen training. But then it has to adjust to what you carry deep in your heart. So maybe this talk reflects some of this. Because I was offered to start talking about these koans in the Hidden Lamp, which is a collection that had been put together by two Soto women. Her names are Florence Kaplo and Susan Moon. And I felt very inspired to comment on those koans or stories about women, but coming from the deep Zen training that I have endured, and that had given me some vision into the emptiness of all things, from which I always will be most grateful. So this book, The Hidden Lamp, is the stories of 100 awakened women. I haven't read it. I only heard a few of those stories, and I look forward to comment on those 100 stories. This book it models a traditional Zen collection, the transmission of the light, but it's very different. It's very different because in the transmission of the light, the Dharma pass is a mind-to-mind transmission from one ancestor to another ancestor in a chronological, historical way. And the Hidden Lamp is not like that. It's a collection of women's stories, but not in a historical or chronological way, but anyway, it's very valuable. In any case, both of those books are a mixture of reality and myth. So the authors of The Hidden Lamp, Florence Kaplow and Susan Moon, write, in every family we have both grandmothers and grandfathers. If we only listen to the wisdom of our grandparents, something in our hearts would be incomplete. If we only listen to the wisdom of our grandfathers, something in our heart would be incomplete. It is the same in the Dharma. If we only listen to the wisdom of our Dharma grandfathers, and we don't hear anything about our grandmothers, what do we think? We can think a lot of things, but nothing maybe has to do with the truth. So these days we need more than ever for the light of our grandmothers in the Dharma to shine through. Although The Hidden Lamp was written by and about women, it is just not just for women. The stories of our Dharma grandmothers are stories for everyone, since we all, women, men, and people of all gender, have or had grandmothers. I myself am a grandmother, actually. Many of our Dharma grandmothers explore the body, desire, and sexuality, themes that are often absent from koans about men. Actually, that was one reason that women were left outside, so we would not distract the monks with our beauty. There are also extraordinary men in these stories who supported and respected women as equal partners. And I'll be weaving these extraordinary men into the stories of our grandmothers. I couldn't believe, because I didn't know what was the first koan in The Hidden Lamp. I really know it. But I'm committed to do everyone one by one, not jumping any numbers and doing them all. Okay, well, my great surprise was the old woman of Mount Gotai. I already have a very long relationship with this woman. So I was happy and surprised, and also a little disappointed. It came the first one. I said, okay, it's okay. An old woman lived on the road to Mount Gotai. A monk in pilgrimage asked her, which is the way to Mount Gotai? The old woman said, go straight on. The monk took a few steps and she said, he is a good monk, but he too goes off like that, just like the others. The monks came one after another. They would ask the same question and receive the same answer. Later, a monk told Master Josu what had happened, and Josu said, I will go and investigate her for you. The next day, Joshua went to the old woman and asked her, what is the way to Mount Gotai? Go straight on, she replied. Joshua took a few steps. The old woman said, he looks like a good monk, but he too goes off like that, just like the others. Joshua returned to the monastery and told the monks, I have investigated the old woman of Mount Gotai for you. So before I enter deeper into the koan of the Woman of Mount Gotai, I would like to talk first about our grandfather Joshua. As you know, lived in the 8th century in China during the Tang Dynasty. time of the great flourishing of Zen in China. There are many koans in the traditional collections that have koans about Joshu, about Joshu's wisdom, about Joshu's teachings. And we will look at a few of them today. As you know, Joshu was a disciple of another great master of the Tang dynasty, Master Nansen, with whom Joshu had a wonderful bond and a wonderful relationship. And Master Nansen's teachings has also been recorded in the traditional collections, have also been recorded. Their first encounter is really wonderful. It's those encounters that they knew each other the first moment they saw each other, they recognized each other. And those encounters are really special. And they had one of those encounters. Nansen, who was lying on his bed because he was not feeling good that day, saw Joshu come in and asked, "Where have you come from?" And Joshu said, "From Suizo," which means figure of bliss temple. Nansen asked, "Have you seen the figure of bliss?" Joshu said, "The figure of bliss I haven't seen. A lying Buddha I have seen." At this, Nansen stood up and asked, "Do you have a master already?" Joshu asked, said, "I have." Nansen asked, "Who is your master?" Joshu said, "Although winter is past its peak, it is still very cold. May I suggest, my master, that you take good care of your body?" So in other words, at the first meeting, Nansen, when he heard Joshu saying, "I haven't seen the figure of bliss, I see a Buddha reclining," Nansen, who was sick, stood up, sat up, and said, "You have a teacher." He's like, "I'm available." And yeah, since that day, they became inseparable. Nansen was very appreciative of finding a good student because it's such a blessing to find a good student. So for Nansen, it must have been very difficult to teach to hundreds of cat and dog monks who just wanted a place to sleep or food to eat. One day he got so desperate because none of the monks could say a word of Zen that he killed a cat. I can only imagine the amount of desperation that Nansen must have felt in order to kill that cat. I don't think I could imagine. I can only project. So Nansen took on a heavy karma, a very heavy karma. And when Joshua returned in the evening, Nansen told him what had happened and said, "If you would have been there, you would have been able to save the cat." Joshua put his sandals over his head and left the room. And that's a sign of grieving. So Joshua replied with grieving for the killing of the cat, the death of the cat, and also for the suffering of his grieving teacher. Very appropriate response to the tragic event for both the cat and the teacher. In Koan 19 of the Mumonkan, ordinary mind is the way. Joshua earnestly asked Nansen, "What is the way?" This is so beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful. Nansen answered, "The ordinary mind is the way." Joshua asked, "Should I direct myself toward it or not?" Nansen said, If you try to turn toward it, you go against it. Joshua asked, if I do not try to turn toward it, how can I know that it is the way? Nansen answered, the way does not belong to knowing or not knowing. Knowing is delusion. Not knowing is a blank consciousness. When you have really reached the true way beyond all doubt, you will find it as vast and boundless as outer space. There is another translation that says, outer space is very visual. The way is as vast and boundless as outer space. And there is another translation that says, as the whole firmament, which is another very beautiful image, the whole firmament with all the planets, the stars and everything in it. How can it be talk about it on a level of right and wrong? At these words, Joshua was suddenly enlightened. In the Blue Cliff Record, Quant 52, Joshua lets the donkeys pass, he lets the horses pass. Among us, Joshua, for a long time I have heard of Joshua's stone bridge, but now that I have come, I only see a log bridge. Joshua replied, you only see the log bridge, you don't see the stone bridge. The monk asked, what is the stone bridge? Joshua replied, it let the donkeys pass, it let the horses pass. So these are just two of our wonderful Zen grandparents, grandfathers, who have taught us how to experience clarity of mind from generation to generation. However, it was more difficult for our Dharma grandmothers to express the Dharma, since they were generally not allowed to enter Zen monasteries where the Dharma was taught. We women had to fight a lot to be able to practice Buddhism since the time of the Buddha until many centuries later. In ancient China, Japan, and other Asian cultures, women were not allowed to be ordained as nuns without the permission of a male family member. As you know, we women were kept in the house so that we could be housewives, slaves, laundresses, cooks, wives, or child raisers. Many of the Chinese and Japanese Zen koans are about male teachers and monks. And there are only a few about nameless old women selling tea or rice cakes on the side of the road or working in their fields. These figures lack any worldly power. They are women, they are old, they have no social position, they are secular, they have no men to give them credibility, and yet they are powerful teachers. Their motherly kindness often takes fierce forms, piercing the inflated pride of some monks. In Tibetan Buddhism, these women are called dakinis. Highly spiritual women live in tea and cake shops near the monasteries, and those receive the teachings that they heard from teachers and monks here and there when they took their pilgrimage. This woman of Mount Gotai was already quite advanced in her clarity of mind, and she challenged the monks she encounters the Zen way. Her confidence was so great that she challenged even our grandfather Joshu himself. The mountain Gotai mentioned here is a sacred mountain in China regarded as the abode of Manjusri. Since ancient times, Buddhist people live on this mountain, and monks in training have made pilgrimage to it. The mountain Gotai is symbolic of our true self. By visiting the abode of Manjushri, everyone is looking forward meeting their true self or having a glimpse of our true self. The woman of Mount Gotai warns the monks, are you looking for your true self? Then go straight on. Everyone misses this fact, even our beloved Joshu. Our grandmothers in the Dharma have been absent from Zen texts for a long time, but suddenly one appears here and she's preaching the Dharma. She is saying, if you are looking for your true self, just go straight on. In other words, she's saying the great way is not difficult for those who do not pick and choose. When preferences are cast aside, the way stands clear and undisguised, but even slight distinctions made set earth and heaven far apart. Looking for the abode of Manjushri or Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva outside of us sets heaven and earth far apart. Or looking for the Buddha outside of us sets heaven and earth far apart. In the hidden lamp, this koan is called the Old Woman of Mount Gotai. However, it is interesting to note that in the Mumonkan, this koan is called Joshu See Through the Old Woman. In the commentary of this koan by Shibayama Roshi, he says at the very start, the leading figure of this koan is famous Master Joshu. And I love Shibayama Roshi's commentaries on the Mumonkan. They are super excellent. I recommend them to everyone. But it is sad to witness that when a woman appears, the bias shows up. And although it is sad, it is also healing because today we can honor and heal in ourselves the woman of Mount Gotai. Together with her, we are honoring all of our grandmothers in the Dharma. But also we can extend that healing to all the grandmothers in our family, whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. Some of our well-known grandmothers like Tara or Kuan Yin vowed to liberate all beings in the body of a woman. And the woman of Mount Gotai is another of those bodhisattvas trying to liberate the monks' minds. Wonderful as he was, our beloved Joshu misses the reality of the woman of Mount Gotai. Since ancient times, there have been so much bias against women. As you know, even our venerable Shakyamuni Buddha was no exception to this. We don't really know if the woman of Mount Gotai was old at all. Her energy is very strong. Maybe she just looked old because she was not living with the comforts that we live today. She didn't have moisturizer creams and soaps, nail polish, earrings, makeup, or a brand new orthopedic mattress. She didn't even have a toilet or running water. So maybe she just looked old. When I read the words of Master Yoshu, when he goes back to the monastery and he says, I have investigated the old woman of Mount Gotai for you. I have the feeling that the woman of Mount Gotai was seen as a kind of a dragon or an alien creature that was threatening the monks and therefore must be investigated and slay. When Master Yoshu returns to the monastery and reassures the monks. What I hear is, no worries, monk. I have slain the old dragon of Mount Gotai for you, and now it is harmless. We women were not supposed to follow our spiritual path. We're supposed to be owned like slaves. So, what kind of creature is she? And what is she doing loose on the way to Mount Gotai, outside her cage, threatening ignorant monks with her wisdom? And I get the same feeling when I read Master Mumon's commentary. And Master Mumon is another fantastic grandfather, but he's not used to women. And he says, listen to this. The old woman knew how to work a strategy and win the victory while sitting in her tent. Yet, she's not aware of the bandit stealing into her tent. Old Joshua is skillful enough to creep into the enemy's camp and menace. You said menace or menace? Menace the fortress. Reading this is like, really? 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 This tea lady all by herself selling tea and cakes on their way to Mount Gotai. Is she an enemy deploying military strategies? There is a wonderful koan in the miscellaneous collection that says, Master Ungo once was at Ryumon Dragon Gate Temple. One day a monk was bitten on the leg by a snake. Butsugen, one of the monks, asked, "This is Dragon Gate Temple. Why was he bitten by a snake?" The master in reply suddenly manifested the great Bodhisattva. What kind of bite did the great Bodhisattva of compassion give the monk at Dragon Gate Temple? What kind of bite was that? The great way is not difficult for those who do not pick and choose. When preferences are cast aside, the way stands clear and undisguised. But even slight distinctions made set earth and heaven far apart. There was a Bodhisattva of compassion right in the intersection to the way of Mount Gotai, and she's still there, here. The way to Mount Gotai is well known for being a very windy road with many curves. There is a miscellaneous koan that could have been inspired by the story of the great woman of Mount Gotai. And it goes like this. How do you walk straight in a mountain road with 99 curves? Regarding the koan of the great woman of Mount Gotai, I wonder if Joshua saw through the true woman of Mount Gotai. Or did he only saw the log bridge, that one that allows donkeys and horses to pass? Anyway, I have another ending to this koan of the great woman of Mount Gotai, and it goes like this. The next day, Joshua went to the old woman and asked her, "What is the path to Mount Gotai?" "Go straight on," she replied. Joshua said, "Exactly, venerable lady. In front of me is the road. Would you like to sit down with me and have some tea and cookies?" The venerable lady said, "Of course, good monk. You don't go off like the others." Joshua returned to the monastery and told the monks, "I saw through the woman of Mount Gotai for you, and you had better go straight on." So you all go straight on.